A gamer, you see?
Way too. So this is a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, because it's something that I've kind of started to notice over the past few years, and then just recently with Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Someone had left a comment. When I was reading the comment, I was like, yes, this is what I've been thinking for at least the past like 3 to 4 years now when it comes to Sony. And before I even read this comment, I know how someone's gonna be like, you just a pony, that's why you saying it. All of you care about is Sony game. I ain't trying to hear all of that. I am 1,000% aware not every Sony exclusive is a masterpiece. Hell, damn near none of them are masterpieces. I don't like every Sony exclusive. But let me get to this comment, because I actually think that this man was dropping bars. So this was from some guy _97. I honestly believe there's a narrative right now to downplay anything PlayStation puts out. They've been on top of the industry for so long that some people might just want to see them fall. So much so that they'll attack a game's quality for having minor flaws and say it's terrible. I don't know, man. Shit's crazy. But the game is definitely one of the best superhero games ever.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
Spider-Man 2 did have flaws. It did. But again, it's going to that next level. And this is not just with Spider-Man 2. You've been seeing this with the Horizon series and again, Horizon definitely got some flaws. You've seen it with last year with God of War Ragnarok, to where people was kind of critiquing that game and nitpicking every little thing. You've seen it with Returnal. You just seen it with Spider-Man 2. You seen it with Ghost of Tsushima. You see it with Last of Us. You see it with like I can literally go down the list. This goes back to the PS3 era. A lot of these exclusives, when they come out, again, I'm not acting like they were just completely perfect. They weren't, but it's the levels that people go to nitpick and critique Sony exclusives more so than any other company out there. I remember a few years ago, back on the Xbox One, when Rise Son of Rome had dropped, and that was like, wasn't that a launch title on an Xbox One? But remember how so many people was trying to like up Rise Son of Rome like it was like a really special. I still remember people saying, oh yeah, this game influenced God of War 2018. People was trying to act like Rise Son of Rome was this special game. You see it with Sea of Thieves. You see it like with freaking Hellblade now. Like people trying to act like this is like this freaking major big exclusive that's supposed to drop, when at the time when Hellblade 1 was a exclusive on PS4 last gen, it was just, oh, it's Hellblade. Now all of a sudden Hellblade 2 is like supposed to be this blockbuster game that freaking Xbox are waiting for to drop on Xbox Series X. When an exclusive drops on PS5, people literally expect that junk to be the greatest game ever. But if that same game dropped on Xbox, if Xbox had half the exclusives that PS5 has, I guarantee you those games would be looked at in a completely different light because of the fact it's on Xbox. Same thing with Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo can't run none of the freaking Switch can't run none of these games. But if these games dropped on Switch, I guarantee you they would be held in a different light. And then on the same hand, if you go over to the Xbox side and the Nintendo side, if you had those type of games drop on PlayStation,
come on now, dog.
and Nintendo has some great games. They do, but especially if you had Xbox titles, Xbox exclusives drop on PlayStation, them games would get crucified. Absolutely crucified. So the levels of criticism that you deal with when it comes to Sony games, to Microsoft games, to Nintendo games are nowhere near the same. And it's gotten to the level to where people are actually starting to, I feel like, kind of have a lack of appreciation when it comes to Sony exclusives that they would never have if those games were on other platforms. And then it just gets into the whole stuff with people with fanboy wars and, you know, people trying to downplay a game to rise up a different, like, it's just so, like, it's actually crazy how much politics actually goes on in gaming when, like, you really sit back and think about it. Suckers will downplay a game to lift up another. It was the same thing last year with God of War Ragnarok versus Elden Ring. You literally see people, like, it's like people can't enjoy multiple great games at like the same time. Like, it has to be only one at the top of the throne, and whichever that one is, you then have to downplay the freaking other game and be like, nah, it ain't special. Like, it's just wild, like, the stuff that goes on in gaming. And again, you mostly see this with Sony exclusives. Some of it, I do feel like Sony has never escaped that era of when they were just like killing everybody at E3. That's when the standards for Sony got so high. I say from E3 2013 going forward, that's when, like, you know, Sony was on top of their game. They was killing every single time that they would have a showcase and whatever. And I feel like it peaked with E3 2016. Sony has never escaped that. People expect the utmost, like, just cinematic experiences, gameplay, story, everything when it comes to Sony exclusives. And you don't see that for any other company out there. So when Sony exclusives drop, people might not even realize it, but they are looking at it from like a different lens to where it's like they are trying to be like, all right, wait, I don't see the ray tracing right now. People be looking at the ray tracing, every single pixel, every single flaw in the story, the gameplay. And if you're playing it on Xbox or Switch, you don't look through that same lens. You'll just be like, oh man, this game's great. Y'all could call me a fanboy all of you want to. This is facts on what what I'm saying and what that comment said. So yeah, y'all will leave y'all thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Very interested in knowing, you know, y'all different opinions on this topic and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. To the next video, my brothers and sisters. I'll catch y'all on my next one. All right.